York City is buzzing with action, but spaces like this one still sit empty compared to their pre-pandemic days. Now, the Au Bon Pain franchise was acquired last year by Ampex Brands, the same company that owns another 500 restaurants and convenience stores, and most recently, the Bellagreen chain in Texas. Let's catch up with Ron Ruggles, who's outside of one of those restaurants in Texas.
Hello, this is Ron Ruggles from the Dallas Bureau of Nation's Restaurant News. Big story this week was Bellagreen was purchased by Ampex Brands. It's the owner of Au Bon Pain, as well as a franchisee of Yum Brands and 7-Eleven convenience stores. The parent, which was the original Chop Shop, is remaining.
Now, as you can see from the design inside this Bellagreen restaurant, the chain exudes vibrancy, which also comes alive in its dishes, which include fresh, seasonal, and sustainable ingredients. Sustainability is a hot topic, one we've seen pretty much explode at conferences. And at the same time, we've seen a rise in plant-based food concepts popping up in major cities. NRN's Sam Okus has more on this story.
It was big news in the plant-based world this week as McDonald's announced that its test of the McPlant burger has been completed. Now, that was right on schedule. They were expecting to complete that test, but by all accounts, it sounds like they will not be continuing with a plant-based option. They had partnered with Beyond Meat on this product. Kind of a surprise. Before the pandemic, plant-based was everywhere. Meat alternatives were all the rage as far as consumer trends go, and it seemed like plant-based was really taking over. Burger King, of course, had the Impossible Whopper that did fairly well. In the middle of the pandemic, less attention toward plant-based alternatives, at least among major chains. We see a lot of emerging chains starting up and really taking root in their communities across America.
Now, even though I'm in New York, the pizza capital, let's head to Chicago now, home to the recent Pizza City Fest. NRN's Brett Thorne was there to tell us all about it. Brett, what'd you think?
I ate a lot of pizza. I got probably a slight sodium overload. But what the Pizza Fest really exhibited was restaurant operators' interest in and ability to dig deeper into the stories behind their food, and Pizza Fest sold out, so it's also something that consumers are super into.
And you've also heard some good talk about the cocktail trends happening in this space. Tell us more.
Before I came to Chicago, I wrote a story about a new trend in cocktails where they serve something a little bit more than a garnish on the side. So it's almost like, well, what one of my sources called three-dimensional cocktail experience, where you have a little something to eat, like in one case a dehydrated orange peel with Pop Rocks, next to a cocktail with bourbon and blackberry shrub, or an entire sort of olive and pickled vegetable tasting to go with your martini. Chicago's a loud city. That was a bus. And it just shows the kind of creativity that bartenders are willing to undergo to provide an interesting experience for their customers, because as we know, if you're going to get customers to go out and sit down in your restaurant, it needs to be more than just food.
Now, Brett's source does have a point here. Surveys have found that Gen Z just isn't dining out as much as previous generations. Joanna Fantozzi has an interesting story about virtual dining concepts and Faze Clan. I think that's how you pronounce it.
If you don't know what Faze Clan is, you likely are past the age of 30, or you don't have kids that are in their teens and 20s. Faze Clan is a gaming and entertainment group. They actually just filed an IPO. They're basically a group of influencers, YouTubers, specifically in the gaming community, and they are going to be starting a new virtual dining concept called Faze Subs. And this is the second Gen Z celebrity that Virtual Dining Concepts has partnered with, the first being Mr. Beast. And we all know that Mr. Beast Burger has been pretty wildly successful. And it definitely seems like the virtual dining industry is going after that young teen, college age, early 20s demographic.
So there you have it. You're now in the mix with Nation's Restaurant News. For more coverage like this, be sure to head to nrn.com. And now a word from our partner, No Kid Hungry.
I just can't believe that so many kids go hungry.
It is a solvable problem.
We are here to bring awareness to the fact that 1 in 6 kids in this country struggle with hunger.
We banded together to make this a priority to end childhood hunger.
We talk about changing the lives of the children around us in the community, but we're really helping an entire family.
We can all be part of the solution for No Kid Hungry just by getting involved.